All right, I just need to I'll try again because for some reason I can't see which I have it. Perfect. I'm going to share my screen now. Okay. Yeah, so welcome everyone. Welcome to the webinar that we're organized for you about funding opportunities and events, including Startup Arena at Automatica. Well, we titled it From Challenges to Opportunities in Scaling Your Business and Automation and Robotics. And these are the main topics that we're going to be talking about. So how to bring the most opportunities to your startups and how to help you scale your business in automation and robotics. At the same time, even if you're from outside of automation and robotics, I'm sure that you're going to benefit out of those general suggestions that we're going to have. And my name is Ola Savicki-Green, and I'm a coordinator at Funding Box, and I'm also the project manager for Startup Arena at Automatica. And with me, I have two wonderful speakers. I have Marta Jarnowska and Lars, who are Marta is my colleague, and Lars has been is former participant at Startup Arena, as well as he decided with his team to join the Startup Arena in 2025. But I will give you a proper introduction of these wonderful people in a second. So here are our speakers. And yeah, we're moving forward. I wanted to ask you, in one word, what's the biggest barrier that's holding your startup back? And if you could, please go to Slido. Sorry. And I'm sorry, I'm just going to. Having an issue with that, but give me a second.
Yes, so we want to make it interactive for you, but sometimes it doesn't work that well.
I think that, yeah, today is the day.
Just as we before,
I think it works now. Yes, so in one word, what is the biggest barrier holding your startup back? And you have to go to slido.com and put the number 1066418, or you can also use this QR code and write answers.
You have to share your screen.
Oh, I haven't shared my screen, sorry. So now, there you go. So I think now all the obstacles gone.
Mm-hmm.
So what is your biggest barrier what's the biggest barrier holding your startup back? Slido 10466 418 or the QR code here.
Ola, if we move slides, we will see the answers.
No, they are coming, right? Well, it's funding, it's money, it's visibility, it's the budget, it's a lot of money. issues, but also inefficiency, marketing. Branding, okay. Funding and talent. Okay. Whoever wrote branding and marketing, if you could maybe clarify a bit more about what do you mean by meaning that your brand is not, that you don't have a brand, or maybe that you don't have the way to, you don't know how to expand your brand, how to showcase your brand outside. Maybe if those two answers could be slightly clarified about branding and marketing.
Yes, that would be really nice if you could explain. From my experience, when I'm at some expos and some events, when I often talk to startup founders, they say that they have their idea, that they have the solution, they have technology, but they don't have an idea or ability or talent to actually showcase it to the market. So maybe that is somehow connected to marketing and branding, that you don't know how to pack your product. But let's see what you say.
Yeah, could we ask those two participants to add a bit more information? You could just type it or type it in our chat, however you want. Investments, I see, okay, from Andre, but
so Ola, there is a lot about budget, right? And we will have some solutions for that.
Yeah.
Probably marketing and branding too, because showcasing your business, for example, or at the Automatica startup area is also some kind of marketing step.
Oh, for sure. Certainly, yeah. I mean, opportunities to, yeah, perfect. Yeah. So I see that there's a comment about marketing or branding, and that was the opportunities to showcase your the brand. And yeah, then definitely I feel very confident to be able to give you some hints or some suggestions, or how can you showcase your brand in a very effective way. And we have some offers, some solutions for you here. So that's perfect. Okay, yeah, then I'm going to move further. So when we were preparing this webinar, but also when we were in general when we work with startups and funding box, if you haven't checked who we are Europe's biggest deep tech ecosystem with almost 60,000 members in our startup and SMEs ecosystem. We've been wondering, well, what kind of issues startups face, and how can we contribute to those? And we've listed those 5 here that to us seems to be the most pressing, right? So it's lack of visibility and access to the market. As Marta was saying, sometimes the solution is there, but how to showcase it, to sell it is when there's a gap. And there's high cost of participation in events and exhibitions, because yes, maybe some of the events or are offering preferential placement for startups, but it's also, there's just so many different events, and it's difficult to figure out where to go and what is the added value of each particular event. And you also practically as a startup cannot be everywhere, because it's not only the budget of getting to the event that counts, but also the preparation and the HR costs, right? Yeah, and then obviously you've mentioned that many times accessing funding opportunities and building strategic partnerships. So in a way, being able to partner with those organizations that are going to help you move forward and grow, and it's going to be beneficial for you. So somehow, how do you make sure that the partnership is actually beneficial, that the terms are reasonable? And talent acquisition and attention. Startups are a great place to work, but at the same time, oftentimes it's difficult to convince talents to stay with you. And because of that, the talent gap, for instance, there's an issue with proper rollout of the market or into the market, right? Yeah, but as I said, we're going to try to cover some of those topics. If you guys have anything else you'd like to add, we're happy to see that in the chat room. So please just add your comment. And I will let Marta, who is the marketing coordinator at Funding Box, responsible for many of EU projects, tell us a bit more about the money or the funding opportunities that we have available right now, or they're going to be open and available very soon. So Marta, you might begin.
Thank you so much, Ola. Yes, so the problem that you mentioned many times, it was funding, it was lack of funding, lack of budget, lack of investments. And I believe that with cascade funding that we offer in our portfolio of Funding Box, we can help you with that, because we have many different projects opened right now. We call them open calls. So this is the moment in the project when you actually can apply for some kind of financial support. But we will also have that in the future, in the upcoming months, and in our portfolio, we have really many numbers of different projects. But today, I would like to show you the ones that are launched just now. So actually, just after this open call, you can already apply for this kind of funding. And the first one that I would like to introduce to you is XR to Industry. This is an, of course, EU-funded project that will create a European XR reference platform by developing the first European XR headset. And the project priorities are data privacy, is empowerment, industrial relevance, human-centric, and also openness. And about the open call that we have launched right now. So the XR to Industry software open call, the second one, is looking for up to 2 developers. It can be SME or mid-cap that will create interoperability and standardization solutions for XR mass adoption. And this initiative is designed to empower innovative XR solutions while also ensuring scalability for industry-wide adoption. And applicants here must address one of very specific challenges. And these challenges are tracking environment or avatar customization or industrial digital twins or eye tracking. All of these solutions, although they are not on slides, they are under the link that I shared with you. And then there you can check all of the requirements for this open call. And in this open call, you can gain up to 275,000 euro per one beneficiary. And we are looking for 2 developers. And as you can see, the support program lasts 12 months and it's divided into 3 stages. For each stage, you can apply for a particular amount of funding. If you need more information about this open call, you are interested in that, please do not forget to apply until 18th of February this year. And more information is available under the link that you have on the presentation. I believe Magda also shared it on the chat with you, but as Ola mentioned in the very beginning of the presentation, we'll share slides with you, so you will also have this information afterwards. And then we can go to the second funding opportunity, EU Robin. Here for EU Robin, we have 2 options for you, as we have 2 open calls opened, launched at the very same time. So for the first open call that I would like to present to you is actually, we call it the third open call, but it doesn't make any difference to you. Here in this program, you can get funding up to 60,000 for your project. And in this activity is the financial support for the technology exchange program. And the activity is actually to build transferable tech solution on robotics and artificial intelligence. And here we are looking for applicants that are company of any size, so startups, SMEs, mid-caps, we don't really care here. Also, the applicant can be a research organization and an academia research institution. And here we offer to you a 12-month support program. It can be shorter, it can be from 3 to 12 months technology program for development and also for the validation of these novel scientific methods and technologies. If you want to know more, you just go under the link that is also on the presentation and that Magda shared on chat. And then you have two options to pick from two open calls, the one that I already presented and the second one. If you can go to the next slide, Magda, please. Ola, sorry, Ola. Yes, and here there is another open call, and it's the open call for collaborative project. Once again, you can apply for up to 60,000 euro. Once again, we are looking for a company of any size, for the research organization or academia research institution, but we are looking for singles, individual entities. So you cannot create consortium to apply for this open call. And the activity that qualifies for the financial support is to validate and also demonstrate technologies from the Eurocore repository. The Eurocore repository activities are very widely described in the guide for applicants that you can also find under the link that is on the presentation, and with the goal of driving the real-world applicability, so technology validation. Once again, here you have the support program that can last from 3 to 12 months. And under this program, you will have access to tools and to resources via the European Robotics Code and Data Repository, which includes developed software, data sets, data sheets, and also tutorials that enable to test and integrate these solutions into your own applications. So if it goes about connecting robotics and AI, your Robin open call is for you. And then we have one more. Yes, DAH. It is also the open call that is somehow robotics and AI connected. And it is for collaborative projects, open call, and we look here for legal entities that can apply individually or as consortium. And consortium must be created of up to 2 entities, so no more than 2 entities. And the eligible entities are RTOs, academia, and SMEs, including startups. The deadline to apply in this open call is till almost the middle of March, because it's 30th of March. And here in this open call, we are looking for someone to solve the industrial challenges that are defined by the DIH. This is the name of the project consortium, with the possibility of using resources from the DIH virtual lab or adding new resources to it to reuse developments of the DIH project or DIH use cases. And here we are looking for up to 10 beneficiaries, with the financing for one beneficiary up to 60,000 per one beneficiary. And of course, we will also support you with some mentoring program. DIH experts will support you with the project development and also with the demonstration of the added value to your solution. The type of activities that you can undertake in this open call is very wide. I believe that everyone can find something for themselves, and all the list of all the funded activities are also under the link in the guide for applicants. So you can basically go there and see what can you fund, what kind of activities can you fund with this offered budget. And then the last open call that we have today for you is KISD penetration test open call. Here the deadline is even longer because it's the 7th of April, and we are looking here for individual entities or consortia, once again, of maximum of 2 entities, being SMEs, including micro enterprises and also startups, mid-caps, and even large companies, research centers, and public bodies. And here the financial support is up to 200,000 euros. So it's rather the big funding that we have here. And the applicants that will be selected for this program will receive the funding to carry out pen testing and vulnerability assessment. And if it goes about pen testing, because sometimes we see on our help desk that there is some misunderstanding what we mean by that. Penetration scenarios where companies can simulate real-world cyber attacks to evaluate the the scale of the defense that this specific program has. So this is the pen testing. And then vulnerability assessment focuses on detecting and also analyzing weaknesses in the system that could be exploited by malicious actors. So basically, if you have the solution or you have the idea how to prevent that, how to test that, this open call might be for you. More information, once again, under the link that is on the presentation. And here we have a very extended support program because it's even 18 months. This is it if it goes about funding opportunities. If you would like to know more, ask the questions in the Q&A session, or just basically go to the landing pages of these open calls and we will have answers there for you, as there is the section of frequently asked questions. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Marta. And now let me present another speaker, Lars Heim, the co-founder and managing director of Aeon Robotics, who, as I was mentioning in the very beginning, has been a part of Automatica last year, and from what we know, is planning to be a part of Automatica Startup Arena this year. And Lars, if you would like to do a little bit of introduction of what Aeon Robotics is, that would be great. And then I'm going to join you in a short interview, because we thought that this kind of interactive form is going to be most enjoyable and useful for the participants, right? Thank you.
Sure. Thank you very much for having me, and hi everybody. My name is Lars Heim from Aeon Robotics. We are a startup based in Germany, in Braunschweig. We're a spin-off of the Technical University of Braunschweig, and we're in the area of robotics. So we're developing smart components, robotic systems that can be taught intuitively. So our main product currently is our hand effector gripper, which is a 5-finger humanoid gripper with integrated edge AI and the possibility to be taught intuitively by user. And the user is not only teaching it gripping movements, but also gripping forces. So you can handle sensitive objects as well as not sensible objects, insensible objects. And our next product, which is already developed, but in the pre-industrial stage, is our droid system, which is a 2-armed robotic system with 2 humanoid hands for assembly and pick and place tasks. Yeah.
Fantastic.
No, that's all.
That's all. Okay. Well, that's a lot. That's a lot. So yeah, I had this great pleasure to meet Lars in person in Munich 2 years ago.
Yeah.
It's January, so I'm still kind of living in 2024. But yeah, Lars with his team joined Automatica Startup Arena. My first question is, first of all, like, why did you decide to come to Munich at that time for your first Automatica Startup Arena?
Yeah, I mean, the Automatica is a very big fair. It's very well known, not only in Germany, but worldwide. So especially in the area of robotics, it's, I would say, a good name, a good place to be. And as a startup, I think it's always about visibility. No one knows us, and visibility comes with trust, or with visibility comes trust. And no one knew our solution really until then, and for us it was a great opportunity. But for startup, it's always a question of funding too, because we are not able as a small startup to fund a very big booth at an international trade fair. Yeah, so the startup area was the perfect solution for us.
Yeah, because startups actually enjoy a very preferential treatment when it comes to payment for the booth at Startup Arena, and also startups are grouped together. So in a way, you know, having the small booth outside of Startup Arena might be quite difficult to attract people in. But since all startups are together, there's actually people are interested in coming, especially to Startup Arena and getting to know the startups. Lars, but how was your experience at Automatica? Did you meet some interesting people there?
Yes, our experience was very nice. So we were there with this 3-people team and had our robotic system with us, and yeah, we had the startup area was, and as I understand, will be again in a very nice hall, especially for our solution. We had all big robotics players in the same hall, to just 5 meters across. There was, for example, Neuro Robotics. Right next to us was Deutsche Luft- und Raumfahrt, DLR with their robots. So it was not only the startups in the startup area that attracted people, but also the other booths around us. So it was perfect for our solution, and we had a very good point of attracting traffic. So a lot of people came across and kept standing at our booth, and we could talk with them. So a lot of people, we met a lot of people there, got new leads, and also people we are still in contact with, for example, for investments. So yeah, very interesting.
Fantastic. And you also, as from what I remember, you were also joining me on stage, right? Like you were able to present your solution, or you were all joining a panel.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, because
It's 2 years ago. So.
We were trying to get everyone on stage as well. And we were trying to, and this is the same thing was going to happen this year, that we're not only giving the opportunity to pitch, but also we're involving you in a conversation, because actually that's something that I deeply believe in, is that startups, not in a way, everyone asks people to pitch, and pitching is great, right? Like, don't get me wrong. At the same time, I think that every solution coming to Startup Arena is a story that's worth sharing. And I always want to get into the brains of people and then figure out why you're doing what you're doing. So driving that conversation gives a little bit different exposure, right? And shows like who you really are and what you want to achieve. But Lars, tell me, so you had 3 people. How did you organize your time? Because I know that for many startups coming first time to a big fair, it's a big question, like how to prepare, how many people to take, what to take with me apart from my my prototype, for instance. So if you could give some tips to
Sure.
how did you do that? How you're planning to do it next year, this year, sorry. Maybe that would be helpful.
Yeah. So I would recommend to come with more than one person, and because yeah, you want someone at your booth all the time, and it makes sense to you have time to go around yourself through the whole fair and meet people at other areas and talk with them directly. So it makes sense to be at least with 2 persons. I would recommend even more, maybe 3. And so then one can go around all the time, one can talk with people, and the third one can oversee the booth, for example. Yeah, for us, we had a 3-people team at that point, and so the whole company was at the trade fair. But I think that was still a good investment of time, and yeah, so also it's very relevant to think about how and what you want to present there, because you get the space for in the area, but you have to decide how to fill it. And so for us, for example, we have a hardware product, a hard and software product, but it's easy to show something for us because we have hardware too. So you have to think on how to present your hardware, how to bring it there safely, how to do you have maybe a table where you can just put it on, or do you have to bring your own table? For example, it's an industry grade table or anything. Do we have moving parts? What's with security maybe? What's with electricity? So if you don't have hardware but software, I would also recommend to somehow demonstrate it. It's from my experience, it's people like to experience stuff not only by looking at it, but somehow interacting with it. And if you have nothing they can touch or really try, it's nice to have some physical representation if possible. Yeah, look for hotels and before.
Mhm. And regarding the materials, what do you think? What's your tip on that? Do you think it's actually, based on your experience, it's worth to have some leaflets and whatnot, or is it more based on your experience better to give people a try and send them the link? How did
Yeah.
you do that?
So from my experience, Automatica is relatively conservative. So the people there are conservative. Well, it's a conservative field maybe. So business cards are still a big thing. We collected a lot of business cards. And other trade fairs I experienced that no one is handling business cards anymore. It's all digital or with QR codes, but at Automatica it's still all on paper. So you should have business cards. You should have some flyers, maybe some data sheets printed. Also, a pro tip is to make a photo of every business card you get. Maybe write down in the business card what you talked about and make a photo, put it directly in your CRM if you have one, or have it just in your photos. Because on first day I had like a stack of business cards like this high, and I forgot it. And my hotel was thinking, oh, damn it, I lost the whole day now. It was still on on the booth when I came back at the next day, so luck. But from that, make photos. And also afterwards, if you put everyone like an Excel or put it in your CRM and send emails afterwards, yeah, to build that contact of the trade fair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's super important. I remember we always explain that to our coworkers, even when they are going for fairs, that yes, it's great to network, but then the follow-up immediately and before people forget you, because they also, like, you're meeting as many people as they are meeting, so it's easy to forget. But yeah, that's a very good tip. My last question here would be, I also mentioned that you have met some of the investors, right? If you could share a bit about how to prepare for that kind of meeting. Was it a part of the day that we organized? Because we have organized last year one day for Odense with Odense Investor Summit, or was it somehow apart from that? And how to grasp their attention if there's so many other interesting people around?
So in general, I would say that everyone should think about what they really want to achieve there. Is it just to present the product? Is it visibility? Is it to get investors' attention, or is it just new leads for sales? And based on that, you should think about the message you want to tell everyone. And actually, if you go there with 3 people, you should always have the same message for all those 3 people. And so there are no differences in what you tell the visitors. And yeah, for investors, for us it was more not about in the Odense day, but directly at our booth. Especially strategic partnerships that can or will turn into investments. People are running around there looking directly for new solutions they can either use in their own productions or their customers could use. And yeah, so you should be prepared for specific questions, for example, your costs, your selling points, your numbers, if you have to, yeah, if you ask directly, you should have direct answer for that and not have to ask your colleague what is our price or something like that. Yeah.
Fantastic. So I can hear that, like, even, you know, outside of the special time that we have with investors, there are people coming in and interested in getting to know and investing in startups.
Yeah.
And that's great. I love the answer, because that's something also we were working on with Messermention, to make sure that the right profile of visitors come into the startup arena. It's not random, but it's actually very targeted, right?
One point.
Yeah.
It's actually not only investors, but there. What I was surprised is that there are really people owning companies from all over Europe, maybe coming there, looking directly for solutions for their specific problem. So the person who came to our booth, who has a company for those. I don't know the English word for it, but those handles where you put your clothes on it, so racks, and he's producing them, and he wants to automate that, and was coming to the trade fair to look for a solutions just for his problem. And there are several people going around looking for specific solutions, and yeah, I was really surprised that it works like this.
Oh, great to hear that. I mean, in the end, Automatica is 650 now exhibitors and 40,000 visitors, right? And the fair has been there for really quite some time. So people know that when they come there, they can ask, they can look for the solutions to their problems. We as well, together with Messermention, run a special campaign to target SMEs from around the Bayern area, we give them free tickets so that they can come and see startups and look for the solutions that they could fit their business among those offered by Startup Arena. So I think that all kind of comes into place with your experience. I don't have any other questions, but Lars, if you would like to share like your final thought, then maybe that's final suggestions to those who are wondering whether to come or not.
Final suggestions, I don't know, but so we will be coming back this year to the startup area too. And yeah, we're coming back because we had a good experience there, and I am expecting nothing less this year. And yeah, and I'm looking forward to meet everyone.
Thank you. Well, the bar is high, as always, but it's also going to be my third Automatica Startup Arena, so in the role of project manager. So I hope we're going to even exceed. Like, I do have some news for you, and I'll show that in a second. And we're still working on finalizing some additional programs, more experts, more potential investors coming in. And we'll be releasing that information as soon as it's confirmed, obviously, because, you know, under promise, over deliver. But we're hoping to also make Automatica at Startup Arena as good as last year, even more. So I'll go back to, I see there's a question here, maybe. No, there was a link. So I'll go back to the presentation. Lars, do you have a question?
Oh, no, sorry.
Okay, no worries. So I'm going to go back to the presentation because I wanted to show you a little bit about what we have planned for this year. So that's Lars, you already know him, connect with him on LinkedIn. This is, there's a video of last year Automatica Startup Arena. And I'll let you have a look here while I'm going to be telling you about the next edition. So it's happening by the end of the last week of June, starting from Tuesday, but exhibitors have one day earlier to come in to establish themselves. And during that one day, we're also going to run a quick meeting to make sure that all the exhibitors are ready. We also, for those of you who would like to join us at Startup Arena, we're also going to run a preparation webinar before, because it's really important to us that you don't only get there, but you also have a plan and you know how to maximize your success at the fair. And the offer what we have is that you're going to have a booth of 4 square meters. That you're going to have a booth of 4 square meters. That is already furnished, and it has a small table. And you're going to receive the branding and the furnishing, and there's also the utilities such as LED lighting, power socket, and whatnot. So basically, if you don't need anything additional in terms of for the display, you can literally come with your stuff, your computer, your roll-up, for instance, and put your robotic arm on that table. And you're set, right? But if you would like to have something more, we can also order a screen and other furniture for your stand. Additionally, as I was saying, we're also preparing you in terms of communication. We're going to run the campaigns to promote this startup arena among the potential visitors. We also give you an unlimited number of tickets, daily tickets, so you can invite everyone to join and get more traffic through that. As well as we're having a pitch opportunity for the investors together with our partner Odense, Invest in Odense, and it's called Odense Investor Summit. And that's how the stand looks like. So if you are interested in finding out more, you can either schedule an appointment with me for a half-an-hour call, or you can go directly to the page that we have prepared with all the information and apply until 9th of May. At the same time, I have to be frank with you that we have limited number of places, and we're already kind of halfway done when it comes to the applicants. And something that Lars was saying, that the placement is also, so we are all in the B4 hall. This is the robotics hall. And the startups are shaped in a startup stands are shaped in a U shape. And the faster you apply, the quickest you can choose your placement. So there is a benefit of coming up earlier. Additionally, when it comes to our stage, we're going to be offering the opportunity to pitch on stage, and we're also going to be offering the opportunity to join the conversation on important topics for automation and robotics. And those topics are organized around the topics of the technologies of automatica, so sustainable production, photonics, innovation, and the future of work. And here are some numbers that you might find interesting, and I think we can move to the Q&A unless I'm missing something. So Lars and Marta, please tell me if there's anything I've forgotten.
No, not really, Ola, but I would like to once again underline that Automatica is a great place to actually start your marketing activities. Of course, you will be visible on a stage when you will be pitching. You can take some photos. You can take photos of your booth, of your colleagues, of the people, the interesting people that you've met. And this is a very good way to start your communication on your LinkedIn profiles, on your website, because this visibility will be very important for you, also in order to get some new investors. They would like to see you on stage. They would like to see that you are visible in the market, in the industry, and that you have a very great potential.
And just at the last minute confirmation we got yesterday from Messemention is that they are also going to put the profiles of all the startups and link to their website at their main page for Startup Arena. So that's additional boost, because that gives a lot of credibility. So that's an additional boost to your marketing efforts. Okay. So yeah, maybe let's move towards questions. Well, yeah. So if you could, yeah, there's hand up. Okay, I see we have some hands up, and I think I can give you, Florent, I will give you, yeah, you're talking is permitted. I think you can just say your question.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much for giving me opportunity or giving us opportunity here. I just want to ask, do we have to pay something in order for us to join in Automatica, something like that?
Yes, so let me go back to the slide. Yeah, so although, yeah, so the price for joining the startup arena right now is €3,500. This is the price for the stand, for all the marketing efforts, and just for you to know, the second lowest price, so to say, for outside of startup arena is €7,000. So it's half price to what you would pay if you were not coming with startup arena.
All right. Thank you so much.
Okay, do we have other questions? Francis, I think you have talking permitted. Oh, wait. Francis, can you unmute? Francis, do you have a question? Okay. Okay, here are questions that showed up already for the at the slider. So I'll be taking them one after another, and maybe Marta, you can help me, or Lars, you can help me. Will there be any networking opportunities? Yes, we're going to have networking opportunities, be it at lunch or networking, well, sundown, I would say. So around the end of the day, 4 p.m. Meeting every day. And additionally, and that's going to be organized within Startup Arena. And additionally, on Thursday, all the exhibitors are invited to a general networking for all the exhibitors of Automatica. It's a big event happening in outside in the premises of Messa Mission, but that's for all 650 exhibitors. So yes, I think that's quite extensive. So, is there any discount for startups? Well, so the package is a discount because, as I was explaining, the other opportunity, the next opportunity is twice as expensive. So yeah, for the amount of 3,500, you can get it to start to Automatica, and that's the cheapest possibility available by quite an extent. Okay, the question I think more for you, Marta, is what exactly is cascade funding?
Thank you, Ola. So cascade funding can be also known as financial support for third parties. We have the shortcut FSDP, is a European Commission mechanism to distribute public funding in order to assist beneficiaries such as startups, scale-ups, SMEs, mid-caps in the uptake or development of digital innovation. So basically, it works this way that we, as Funding Box, we are consortium partners of different European Commission projects in deep tech. And when there is a project in a specific area, we are the organization that announces the open call the moment in the project when we offer budgeting to specific entities. And we are looking for these entities, and we are the organization that sends you the budget that you declared in your project, of course, if you become a beneficiary. So basically, the whole procedure is much easier there than in, for example, national or regional fundings. When you apply for some national or regional projects, we just omit this part. We work very closely to the European Commission, and we are just one institution between the public funding from the European Commission and your business growth. I hope this answers the question.
And I hope, and I wanted to mention one more really important part is that the grants received through the Cascade funding are equity free. Well, they're grants, so they are equity free. Maybe those tickets aren't as high as with potentially with investors, but at the same time, they don't take your equity. So especially at the very beginning, it's really a good way to kick off your business. And then I have a question. What is the agenda of the other days on of Startup Arena, I suppose? So Marta, actually, could you take this question because you're more involved with the agenda?
Yes, exactly. I'm co-organizing the agenda for the other days, because one day, as Ola already mentioned, there will be the Odense Investment Day when you can meet the investors. But on the other days, we are coming there with many different actually projects and many different experts from the robotics and the manufacturing industry. There will be topics connected to additive manufacturing, to robotics, to 5G, 4G technology, to cloud services, many different ones. We are still building the agenda. The ones that I mentioned, they are already confirmed. You can meet the experts there. And also regarding to the networking, that was our first question. As we are coming there with our consortium projects, and we are having lots of experts on the stage, you not only can network with the exhibitors, not only with the people that are coming there just to see the expo, just to, you know, go through the whole event, but also with the experts that will be actually on stage. And they are very often working for some public institution, for research centers, but also for some private companies. So you can see and meet the investors also from these people that will build up our agenda. And Ola, if I can, there is also a question about other funding opportunities. Do you update them often? Yes. As I told you, there are specific times in the projects where we actually have the funding opportunity. And these moments in the project happen in every few months. So you can imagine that once we have, for example, for the EU Robin project, 2 open calls right now. When they finish, there will be another one, let's say in some months, for example, in 6 months. But there are another projects that are just launching their open calls. So in order for you to be up to date with all the funding opportunities that we have right now, is first of all to observe our social media. Funding Box LinkedIn profile is a great source of information. Then you can go to our website. Maybe Magda, you can actually paste the link here. There is an option to sign up for our newsletter. So monthly, you will be getting information about all the opportunities. And I need to mention that not only funding opportunities, but also tech transfer, technology testing opportunities that we also have in our portfolio. So just sign up to the newsletter, follow our LinkedIn profile, and you will be very well informed.
Marta, if you could also answer the last question, is the funding of the project you mentioned 100% funding or with a funding quota? That would be great. And then yes. I can close with the booth package.
The vast majority of our projects, it's 100% funding. There is one more project that I didn't really mention because the open call closing days is very, very soon, that we have, for example, 80% funding and 20% is the input that you should have from your company. But it is very, very rare. The ones that I introduced to you, they are 100% funded.
But actually, also regarding those which are not 100% funded, from what I remember, your labor as work could be included as a part of your involvement, right?
Yes, it depends on the project, but very often it is like this. Yes.
Yeah. So you don't necessarily have to invest any cash. And yeah, the question I'll proceed with is the booth in the package for all of the days? Yes, it is. So all 4 days, actually, as an exhibitor, you have access the day before and you have access the day after. But yeah, it's the for the whole period of the event. Do we have any more questions?
Ola, if I may, because
Go ahead.
you forgot to mention a very another let's say area of the Automatica event, which is the fun part, because
Oh.
we don't really only network during the official agenda, but also after the main event, there is the fun part when we meet for some social activities. And it is also a very, very nice way to network with people and to meet them and to, you know, establish some relationships.
Well, so that's what I call the all exhibitors networking, right? That's happening on Thursday, so the last night of the event, because the event is open from 10 a.m. till 6 p.m. from Tuesday till Thursday, and then on Fridays from 9 a.m. till 4 p.m. So on the last day, which is Thursday evening, there's a big party. And yes, that's the less formal way of networking, but networking nevertheless. And I think actually it's really nice that they do it on the last night, because throughout this time, you already probably have visited various booths, or various people have visited your booth, and you establish some sort of relation, and you can, in a bit more informal atmosphere, get to know each other, and potentially also talk business, right? So yeah, I think that's important to mention. It's a Thursday, big networking with all the 650 exhibitors invited. Okay, well, if there's any more questions, you can, guys, I will once again go to here you can use this QR code and apply, or I will go back and you can schedule also an appointment with us and or apply. Then so you can schedule also an appointment with us, and if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer. Meanwhile, thank you for listening. Let us know if you have any other questions, and we hope to see you either applying to the open calls and receiving some money, or coming to Startup Arena, and ideally both. And thank you, Lars and Marta, for joining the stage with me today. I hope you enjoyed it. And well, I see all of you in Munich, and I hope to see many of our participants in today's webinar in Munich too.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.